Hello everyone, welcome back to Technologies Discussion channel. For this video, I'd like to kickstart the discussion on analog to digital conversion, which is also known as ADC. Okay, so basically now you can see that how they get this A, D, and C. Okay, so this video, I'm going to explain the three process in order for us to convert the analog signal to digital data. The first process will be sampling. Okay, so this video, I will just concentrate on sampling. The next will be quantization and also encoding. This will be my later video in order for us to fully understand the process of converting the analog signal to digital data. So this video, I'm going to show you what called the poor sampling and also what is actually good sampling. Okay, so from here, you will be able to understand why sampling actually play a key role in order for us to convert the analog signal to digital data successfully. So basically, this will be the objective of this video. Guys, if you're keen to know more about ADC and also later on DAC, okay, please see the playlist under the description. Over there, you will be able to find a series of discussion on ADC. This is my email. If you have any question regards on this discussion, please drop me an email. Okay, or if not, I actually prefer you guys to send me your question through the comment. Before I continue, I'd like to urge you guys to help me by like this video. Guys, just give me a few seconds. Press the like button now. For those who are new to this channel, and if you want to encourage me, please consider to subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification bell. Once again, thank you so much for strong support. Firstly, let me explain this ADC, okay, in a very simple analogy in our daily life so that we have a better understanding on this. Okay, so basically the example I'm going to share with you will be the measuring cup for cooking. Okay, so imagine this. Okay, imagine you are actually following a recipe. Okay, this recipe actually asks for 1.7 cups of milk, let's say to bake a cake. Okay, so the milk, in fact, will be the analog signal. Okay, because the milk is actually continuous, analog signal is actually continuous because it can be any amount. For example, it can be 1.7 cups of milk, 1.73 cups of milk, or 1.735 cups of milk. So from here, you can see that the amount of milk can be continuous. This is actually known as analog signal. Next, okay, we have this measuring cup. As you can see from here, these are so-called the measuring cup. Okay, so these are actually called the digital signal because they come in very specific size. For example, this is what we know as the 1 cup, half the cup, 1/3 of the cup, and 1/4 of the cup. Okay, so basically this is what we know as digital signal. So what will be the process? Okay, so this will be the process of ADC. Okay, remember I need 1.7 cups of milk. How can I actually compute this 1.7 cup of milk here? Okay, so basically you decide, okay, the closest you can get is 1 full plus half, which is 1.5, and then another quarter, which is 1.75. Okay, so basically this is actually the 1.7 cups of milk you can actually get from the digital signal or from the measuring cup for this case here. Okay, so this is actually very close to 1.7. Okay, because the desire is 1.7, but my outcome is 1.7 kind. But this is not perfect. Okay, there is actually a small error. And typically for digital signal, analog to digital conversion, okay, we need to tolerate this kind of so-called small error. Okay, so basically the recipe, okay, so now you actually digitize it. Okay, so your recipe can now work with this digital measurement of 1.7 cup. Okay, so basically in short, you just imagine initially, okay, you have this analog signal of 1.7 cups of milk. But after going through this ADC, the amount of milk supposed to be 1.7 cups of milk. Okay, so basically this is a process of converting the analog signal to the digital signal. You actually will have some small error which you must be able to accommodate. Okay, so this is a very simple analogies in our daily life for you to understand the ADC. Okay, so what does this show? Okay, so basically there are a few ways that we can make this more accurate. Okay, so basically, firstly, okay, better measuring cup. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, when you actually have a more better measuring cup, we are going to have a better accuracy. Imagine, okay, if we can have this 1/8 cup measurement, okay, then we will be more closer to 1.7. Okay, you could get even closer to 1.7 rather than 1.75. We can even get closer to 1.7. Okay, so basically this is what it means. Okay, if we can have more measuring cup, okay, which means that it is actually more accurate. So basically this is actually relate about the ADC resolution. Okay, the more measuring cup size that you have, okay, the higher the ADC resolution, the more accurate your conversion. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier on, this resolution I will discuss on my next video. Okay, so but over here you can see that the more smaller cup that I actually managed to have, this will be an outcome of a better measurement, which means that I will be closer to 1.7. Okay, so basically this is under the ADC resolution. Okay, the small error, the difference between 1.7 and 1.7 cup, okay, is in fact very small amount of error. This is always happening in all ADC conversion. So basically, in short, okay, if you cannot tolerate any error, then you probably cannot do this A to D conversion. Okay, so this ADC basically will introduce a very, very small amount of error, which you are going to take a closer look later on. Okay, so what is actually a ADC? Okay, so let me quickly explain what is actually a ADC. Okay, so ADC is in fact a integrated circuit. Okay, it can be a chip that actually convert a continuous, okay, so this is a keyword, a continuous analog voltage signal into a discrete digital number that a microprocessor, computer, or digital circuit that can actually understand. Why do we need ADC? Okay, so we live in an analog world. Okay, most of our so-called communication that actually they are all analog in nature. For example, our sound, okay, they are actually analog. The temperature, for example, you capture the temperature, okay, in the room, they are all analog signals. So same for light intensity, pressure, and also the speed. However, you see that on the other hand, you realize that our computers, our smartphone, and other modern electronics, okay, basically the communication are all digital. So therefore, we need to convert the analog to digital. Then it can be carried over to the receiver. So basically, this is the reason why we need to have this ADC. They only understand ones and zero. Okay, so because this computer, this smartphone, and any form of electronics communication, they only understand one and zero. So therefore, this ADC is actually a very critical bridge that allow digital system to measure, process, and actually after that store the information from the analog world. Okay, so later on you will see all this process. Okay, let me quickly explain this. Okay, so imagine this is what actually happened in most of the electronic communication. Okay, so in most application here, the signal that we want to transmit, they are actually naturally in an analog form. Like I mentioned earlier on, the speech, the video, they are actually all analog format. So in order to be compatible, when we actually want to establish communication, okay, we can't send the analog signal. Okay, we can't send this analog signal. Okay, because we are going to have more noise. Okay, it will be harder to recover. Okay, what we want to do is we want to send digital signal. Okay, so basically we want to send digital signal from the transmitter to receiver. So therefore, in order to be compatible, okay, let's say for any, let's say PC, etc., okay, we want this to be in a digital format. So therefore, the analog signal must be converted to digital signal through this process known as ADC. Okay, so basically, imagine this. We want to send the electronics communication from the transmitter to the receiver. Of course, we can send in an analog way. Okay, so basically, these are all in the very early days of communication. For example, AM, FM, broadcast, etc. They are all analog in nature. Nowadays, okay, we actually most of the time send the signal using the digital signal. So in order to make this possible, the transmitter okay, need to convert the nature of the signal from the analog to digital before it can broadcast over to the receiver. Next, okay, so basically, these are the three steps which I have mentioned earlier on. Okay, the first step is actually the sample. Okay, so basically, the analog signal will be sampled at a regular interval, okay, which is TS. This S is actually sampling. Okay, the output are short pulse duration with amplitude equals to the analog signal amplitude. I come to this, okay, PAM, okay, on my next video. Not this video, okay, but you just need to keep this in mind. This is what we know as sampling. Another one is called the quantization. Okay, so basically this is to bring it to the nearest level. Okay, it can be increased or reduced. Okay, but the key idea is to bring it to the nearest level. Again, like I mentioned earlier on, I will explain this on my next video. Next will be encoder. Okay, so basically how we actually encode from the analog signal into a binary. Okay, so basically this is why we have this ADC, as you can see from here. The input of this ADC, they are all analog. At the output of the ADC, they will be digital data. Okay, so basically this is actually the role of ADC. Okay, analog signal, okay, basically they are continuous in time. As you can see from this diagram here, they are actually continuous in time, and it is necessary to convert this to a flow of digital values. Okay, so it is therefore very important for us to define the rate at which new digital values are sampled from the analog signal. Okay, so the rate of new values that is going to sample is called this sampling rate or sampling frequency. Okay, let's take a look on this diagram here. You can see that this is actually the analog signal. This is the input, okay, how much that we actually want to sample. Okay, so basically you can see that these are all sampling pulse here. Okay, so basically I will go a little bit in more detail, okay, on my next video, but this video I mainly want to show to you what is actually called poor sampling and good sampling. But over here you can see that this is the analog signal. They come into over here. This is what we call the sampling. After that, they will be encoded. All this I will explain later on. But hopefully, this give you a very simple idea how does this work. This is what we call the sampling pulse. This is the sampling frequency. And basically from here, let me just explain this. Okay, so before I come into the example of so-called poor sampling and good sampling, I urge you again, this is very important for me. If you have learned something from this video, please remember to help me by like this video. And again, okay, you can also consider to subscribe to this channel so that you can follow the next series of discussion on ADC. Thank you so much. Let me come to the good and also the poor sampling. Let's kickstart the poor sampling first. Let's say this is the analog input signal that you want to convert to ADC, analog to digital conversion. Okay, so let's say you just take two sampling from here. Okay, so you just take two sampling, and this is actually the outcome. This will be, let's say, the digital signal. Okay, so let's don't dwell so much on the level, etc. Just keep this simple. Okay, so this so-called discussion is to explain why it is very important to have a good sampling. Okay, so basically these are the two levels. Okay, so I have successfully, okay, you can see that I have successfully transmit, okay, from the analog signal into a digital signal, as you can see from here. So this is actually the analog input signal, okay, but naturally they are actually so-called digital now. So what happened here is basically this is the analog signal. Imagine this is actually sent over the air. Okay, when the receiver actually receive it, okay, they will try to trace the signal. Okay, so basically they try to trace the signal. Okay, they try to trace the signal, and this is the outcome of the analog signal. And if you do a comparison, okay, so this is what the receiver actually received. And if you do a comparison against the so-called the analog signal, you can see that it is a very huge difference. Okay, because over here you can see that I only just take two sampling. And from here, this is actually the outcome, which is in red. And this is the original signal. You can see that it is totally different. There is a strong mismatch between these two signals. So basically, this is what we call the poor sampling. Okay, so now, okay, let me go into the good sampling now. Okay, so basically, again, this is the original analog signal. Okay, so I'm going to have more sampling now. Can you see here? I'm going to have more sampling. And this is actually the digital signal now. Okay, so again, imagine this is the digital data that I actually send over to the receiver. And the digital signal actually receive this so-called waveform here. And what they do is, again, they do tracing now. So basically, they do the tracing. Okay, so basically from here, you can see that the difference between the original one and the so-called the ADC conversion, you can see that it is very closely matched. This can even more close, okay, if we can have more sampling. Can you see over here? You can see that, okay, this is definitely much better as compared to the earlier on. Okay, so basically this is what with poor sampling, you can see that the red color will not be able to so-called relate back to the original signal. But with this, okay, with a good sampling, you can see that the signal actually look match. Okay, but definitely there will be some form of mismatch. And in order to resolve all this can be resolved by having more sampling. Okay, so basically from here you can see that the key difference between poor sampling and good sampling. From the poor sampling, okay, there will be a strong mismatch. Okay, for a good sampling, you can see that it is almost the same. Like I mentioned earlier on, if you do this ADC, you must accept some form of error. These are all the so-called the form of error that you must accommodate. If you cannot accommodate, you can't actually transmit using this analog to digital. When you actually use this analog to digital conversion, these are just the very small form of error. And in order to minimize the error, you probably just need to do more sampling. Okay, so later on in fact, you will realize that you can also do more quantization. Okay, but over here, I just keep this simple for you. Okay, so what can we draw a conclusion? Okay, so ADC work by sampling the value of the input at a discrete interval in time. Okay, so basically this is mean that these are all the discrete in time. Okay, so this is how the ADC work. Okay, they actually have this sampling frequency. Okay, basically they will be sampling at a discrete interval in time, provided that the input is sampled above the Nyquist rate. Okay, so which is defined as twice the highest frequency of the interest, then all the frequency in the signal can be reconstructed. Okay, so basically the sampling frequency, okay, so this is a requirement. Okay, basically this is the Nyquist theory. So basically what you need to do is basically this Nyquist theory say that the sampling frequency must be so-called 2 times more than the Fmax. Okay, so Fmax is actually the maximum frequency of the analog signal. If this okay, is not valid, then we will have aliasing error. Okay, so basically in short, in order to so-called fully successfully to convert the analog signal to digital signal, the sampling rate need to be at least 2 times the Fmax. Once you actually meet this criteria, okay, the form of error is acceptable. If not, you probably will have this aliasing error. So basically, this is what I meant for this video. Over here, you can see that what is actually known as poor sampling, what is known as the good sampling. So sampling is the first process of ADC. Okay, so in order to ensure that enough sampling, we need to ensure that it will be applied by this Nyquist theory. Okay, which means that your sampling frequency must be more than 2 times the Fmax. With this, I'd like to end my discussion. Please help me to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Once again, thank you so much for strong support. I hope to see you guys soon. Bye for now. Thank you so